Everyone's learning AI in 2026, and then workflows, AI receptionist, voice agent, you're building a good portfolio. But here's what nobody's telling you. While you're learning NA10, AI is turning NA10 into a button. Same ultimate goal, make everything you are learning right now one click. If a 9-year-old can build what you're building, what's your skill worth? I spent 6 months in this trap, learning, building, getting better at AI, but $0 revenue. Then I realized the skill is depreciating, but the market isn't. So I stopped chasing new tool updates. I focused on the market instead. 7 days later, first clients, and 3 months later, $30,000 revenue. And 4,500 people resonated with this insight. Not because I got smarter, because I focus on what doesn't depreciate it. If you're stuck learning AI while your skills turns into buttons, this is for you. I'm going to show you the framework, what doesn't depreciate, not motivate. This is structure. But before we go further, if you want the actual system I'm about to show you, I put together the 7-day market signal starter kit. It's linked in the description. Grab it now, come back and follow along, or just keep watching. Either way, let's go. Trap number 1, the endless optimization loop. Let me show you the first step that keeps your calendar empty. You're optimizing every single day. Monday, my landing page needs better copy. And Tuesday, maybe the CTA button should be green instead of blue. And Wednesday, I should add a video explainer. And Thursday, actually, let me rebuild the entire flow. And finally, Friday, wait, maybe I need a different offer structure. You're tweaking, adjusting, perfecting, and it feels smart, right? It feels productive. You're improving your conversion rate. You're getting better at the craft. But here's the math that nobody wants to hear. You're obsessed with relative returns instead of absolute returns. Let me show you what that means. Let's say you have a landing page that converts at 10%. You put 10 people in front of it. 1 person converts. So you spend 2 weeks optimizing, testing, and tweaking. Now it converts at 12%. Amazing, right? 20% improvement. You put 10 people in front of it again. 1.2 people convert. But wait, you can't have 0.2 of person. So it's still 1 person. You spend 2 weeks for 0 actual increase. Now let me show you the maximizer approach. Same 10% landing page, don't touch it. Instead of optimizing, you ask, how to get 100 people in front of this? 100 people multiplied by 10% equal 10 conversion. That's 10x more results with the exact same broken landing page. This is what I mean by absolute returns. The maximizer doesn't care that the conversion rate is only 10%. The maximizer cares about total output. And here's where it gets even worse for optimizers. You're not just wasting time optimizing. You are actually decreasing your output while you do it. Because while you are in optimization mode, you're not sending traffic. You're not contacting people. You're not in the market. You're in your head. I see this consistently with AI founders. They will spend 3 months perfecting their AI receptionist demo. The voice sounds more natural. The response time is faster. The UI is beautiful. And I ask them, how many roofing companies have you contacted? Oh, I want to get it perfect first. 0. 3 months of work, 0 market contact. Meanwhile, someone else built a janky demo in 3 days, contacted 300 roofing companies, got 15 replies, booked 3 calls, closed 1 client at $1,500. Who won? The person with the ugly demo and real revenue, or the person with the perfect demo and imaginary clients? Here's what optimizer don't understand. Your demo doesn't need to be perfect. It needs to be in front of people. Not 10 people, not 20 people, at least 70 people this week, then 100 more next week, then 200 more the next week after that. Because here's the truth about optimization. Your business will never be perfect, ever. You will always see things you could improve. The landing page could be better, the script could be tighter, the demo could be smoother. But while you're chasing perfect, someone else is chasing volume. And volume wins every time. Not because volume is elegant, because volume creates absolute results. Let me be direct. If your calendar is empty and you've been perfecting your offer for 3 months. You're not being strategic. You're hiding. You're avoiding rejection by staying in optimization mode. Because as long as you are tweaking, you don't have to face the market. You don't have to hear no. You don't have to feel the pain of someone ignoring your message. Optimization feels safe. Market contact feels risky. But only one of them gets you paid. Stop chasing your offer every day. Start putting it in front of 100 people this week. That's trap 1. Here's the second trap, and this one brutal because you can't see it. You try outreach. You send 5 cold emails, no replies. You send 5 more. One person opens it, no reply. And you send 3 because you are getting discouraged, no replies. And then you don't send any because it's not working. And you are on YouTube searching, is it cold email dead in 2026? And you find some group who said, cold email is dead. You need to use New Shining tool. So you spend a weekend learning Clay, or maybe it's Instantly, or Apollo, or Smart Lead. You think, if I just had better automation, better data, and better targeting, but here's what actually happened. You sent 13 emails in 5 days. That's not outreach. That's a test, a bad test. Because you quit before you saw the people it works for. Let me tell you what real outreach looks like. 100 manual emails per week, every week, for 90 days, that's 1,200 emails minimum before you are allowed to say it doesn't work. But you sent 13 or 0. And then you said, outreach is dead. No, you just weren't consistent long enough to see the signal. Here's why consistency is so rare. You cannot observe consistency unless you are consistent. Think about that. If you go to the gym 3 times and quit, you never see the people who are there every day. You show up Monday, Wednesday, Friday. The gym looks empty. So you think nobody works out here. But the people who are there every day at 5:30 a.m., they see each other. They know who's committed. But you never see them because you weren't there long enough. Same thing with outreach. You send 5 emails and see 0 results. So you assume nobody's getting results from outreach. But you never stayed long enough to see the founders sending 100 plus per week. Every week for months. Those people are getting replies, getting calls, getting clients, but you will never see them because you quit on day 4. And here's what makes this even worse. Instead of staying consistent with outreach, you start tool hopping. Maybe Clay is better. Maybe I need Amplify. Maybe I should try LinkedIn instead of email. Maybe I should do Instagram DMs. Maybe I should just build a YouTube channel and wait for inbounds. You keep changing the method. But the problem isn't the method. The problem is you are not willing to do the same boring thing 100 times in a row. Let me tell you something that nobody wants to hear. Outreach is not efficient, but it's the fastest. It's not elegant. It's not sexy. It's not fun. But it works. And here's how I know it works. The world's most successful companies use outreach as their main method. Salesforce, Oracle, HubSpot, Amazon AWS, billion-dollar companies, they have massive sales teams doing outbound every single day. Not because they are dumb, not because they haven't discovered better ways, because outreach is the fastest truth machine that exists. You want to know if your offer works? Send 100 emails this week. You will know by Friday. You want to know if your messaging resonates? Send 100 DMs this week. You will have data by the weekend. But instead, you send 5, get discouraged, and go looking for a better method. There is no better method for speed. Outbound is the fastest way to touch the market. Everything else, content, ads, SEO, social media, is slower. Slower doesn't mean worse. It just means slower. But when your calendar is empty right now, you don't have time for slow. You need fast. And fast means outbound. Here's the pattern I see consistently. Week 1, sending 20 emails, get 1 replies, get excited. Week 2, sending 30 emails, get 0 replies, get confused. Week 3, send 10 emails, get 1 reply, don't know what to think. Week 4, give up, go back to learning and looking for a new strategy. But what if you did this instead? Week 1, send 100 emails. Week 2, send 100 emails. Week 3 and week 4, the same. By week 4, you'd had 400 attempts. You'd have real data. You know if the angle works. You know if the who is right. You know if the pain is urgent. But most people never get to 400 attempts. They quit at 20. And then they say, outreach doesn't work. Outreach works. You just didn't work long enough. That's trap 2. Here's the third trap, and this one kills more startups than the first two combined. You spend all your time arguing about business model. Agencies are dead in 2026. Coaching is a scam. Microsoft is the only real business. If you are not building software, you're wasting your time. And so you skip straight to SaaS. You start building software before you've talked to a single customer, before you've delivered a single result, before you know if anyone cares. You just build. Because someone on Twitter said, agencies are dead. Let me be very clear. Delivery method doesn't matter. What the client wants matter. If your client has a problem and they are willing to pay you $3,000 to solve it done for you, that's an agency model. Should you say no because agencies are dead? Take the money and solve the problem and learn the market. If your client wants accountability and can't afford $3,000 plus, that's a consulting model. Should you say no because coaching is a scam? Bullshit. Take the money, teach them, build authority. If you've done agency work 20 times and consulting work 30 times, and you see a pattern, that could be productized. Now you build software, not before. Here's the natural progression I've seen work over and over. Stage 1, agency, done for you. You do the work for them. You learn the market. You see what actually works. You get paid fast, 7 to 30 days to first clients. You build proof. Stage 2, consulting, done with you. You teach them what you learned. You build authority. You scale your time. You charge more per hour. You create leverage. Stage 3, SaaS, done by them. You productize what works. You remove yourself from delivery. You scale infinity. You build enterprise value. But everyone wants to skip to stage 3. They want to SaaS on day 1. And I get why. SaaS sounds sexy. It sounds scalable. It sounds like real business. But here's what happens when you skip the first 2 stages. You build the software that nobody wants. Because you never touched the market. You never did the work manually. You never felt the pain yourself. You never saw what actually solves the problem. You just guessed. And your guess was wrong. I see this consistently. Someone spent 6 months building an AI tool, beautiful UI, amazing features, and technically impressive. I ask, how many customers did you talk to before building this? Oh, I'm going to do customer discovery. After I learned, too late. You already built the wrong thing. Let me tell you about the founders who win. They start with agency. They manually do the work for 5 to 10 clients. They see what works and what doesn't. They see what clients actually care about. They see what they are willing to pay for. Then they move to consulting. They teach 10 to 20 clients the system they figured out. They build authority. They build proof. They build pricing power. Then, and only then, they build the software because now they know exactly what to build. They've done it manually 50 times. They know every edge case, every objection, every workflow. So when they build software, it's not a guess. It's a productized version of something that already works. That's how you build the software that people actually buy. But if you skip straight to SaaS, you're gambling, and most gambles lose. Here's the question I ask founders who want to build the software first. If your software is such a game changer, why don't you use it to deliver result to clients manually first? Usually, silence, because they don't actually want to do the work. They want to build the thing and have it sell itself. But that's not how it works. Delivery method follows market need, not the another way around. If clients want done for you, do agency. If clients want accountability, do consulting. If you've proven both and you see a pattern, do SaaS. But don't let Twitter arguments about which business model is best distract you from the only thing that matters, getting a client. Agencies aren't dead. Dead agencies are dead. Coaching isn't a scam. Bad coaching is a scam. SaaS isn't the only path. It's just a one path. What matters is, can you solve a problem someone will pay for? If yes, charge them. I don't care if you deliver it as agency, consulting, or SaaS. I care that you get paid and learn the market. That's trap 3. So let me recap where you are. Trap 1. You're optimizing your demo for 6 months instead of putting it in front of 600 people. Trap 2, you send 5 emails, quit, and say outreach is death, while never seeing the people doing 100 plus per week. Trap 3, you're debating agency versus SaaS on Twitter instead of getting your first clients with whichever model they will pay for. and your calendar is still empty. Okay, so why should you listen to me? Because I've been in every single trap I just described. And I'm going to be honest with you about all of it. My first business, the SaaS failure. I started with SaaS because that's what everyone said was the real business. I want to build Notion for designers. I believed in it deeply. It felt right. It was going to change everything. I spent months building, perfecting the features, getting the UI right, making it beautiful. And when I launched it, you know what happened? 0 customers. Not one. Because I never talked to a designer before I built it. I just assumed I knew what they needed. I was wrong, definitely. That businesses died. Not because the idea was bad, because I skipped the market. I fell into trap 3. I went straight to SaaS without touching reality. So lesson 1, believe doesn't matter, the market does. So I had to make money. I had people depending on me, my family. And then I started a web agency, not because it was sexy, because I needed revenue. I did done for you work, built websites, delivered the project. We grew to 9 people, delivered 30 plus enterprise projects. Single project hit $52,000. And here's what I learned. Every founder does the same 4 things. Make an offer, sell it, hire people, manage money. That's it. Tools don't save you if those 4 things are broken. The agency taught me how to sell, how to deliver, how to scale. But I got bored. I thought, if I am this good at building things, why am I doing it for clients? I should teach people instead. So I pivoted. My third business, Future Flow AI. I started an AI education business. I taught UX and product designers how to use AI in Samsung and LG. I built it to 14,000 YouTube subscribers and 1,400 community members. Picked $58,000 per month as a loan. I was teaching AI automation, and it didn't make ChatGPT all the tools. People loved it. They watched every video. They joined the community. They built amazing demos. And I felt successful until I started actually tracking what happened to them. 98% of my students never made $1. Not $1. They learned, they consumed, they built cool projects, but they didn't get clients. They stay in the learning loop. And I realized something that broke me. I was the one keeping them there. My business model rewarded learning, not execution. If they kept learning, they kept buying. If they kept watching, they kept subscribing. But if they went out and got clients, they didn't need me anymore. So subconsciously, my incentive was to keep them learning, not force them to execute. And that realization destroyed me because I genuinely want to help people. But my system was designed to trap them. So I made a decision. I killed a $50,000, $80,000 per month businesses, not because it was failing, because it was working in the wrong decision. People were learning AI, but they weren't making money with AI. And if I'm being honest, I was part of the problem. So I rebuilt. Different model, different structure, and different goal. One rule, market contact on day 1. No more months of learning before you are ready. No more perfecting your demo before you show it to anyone. No more waiting for permission. Day 1, you contact the market. And here's what happened. Daniel from Vancouver tried everything, stuck at 0. 72 days later, 3 projects and $30,000 plus. And Steven from Scotland, $1,500 first deal. Looping cleaning clients. And Shen from California fixed a message 3 days later, 5 meetings booked. Different people, different countries, different industries. But same pattern, not because they got smarter, because they stopped it optimizing and started maximizing. They stopped it learning tools and started contacting buyers using our framework. They stopped it perfecting demos and started sending 70 emails per week. They stopped it asking, is this good enough? And they started getting signal from the market. And here's what I want you to understand. I'm not special. They're not special. I failed at SaaS because I skipped the market. I succeeded at agency because I touched the market every day. I built a big education businesses that kept people stuck. Then I killed it and rebuilt around execution. Parent is a way the same. Market contact wins. Learning without market contact loses every time. So when I tell you to stop learning and start executing, I'm not guessing. I'm not repeating some gross advice. I'm telling you what I learned by failing, succeeding, failing again, and rebuilding. I've been the person building in isolation. I've been the person teaching tools without forcing execution. I've been the person stuck in the optimization loop. And I've been the person who escaped by maximizing market contact. That's why you should listen to me. Not because I have all the answers, because I've made all the mistakes. And the only thing that pulled me out every single time was the same thing. Stop hiding, start contacting the market. That's it. That's the whole system. So now you know the 3 traps keeping your calendar empty. My journey through every single one of them. The patterns that works every time. Market contact. So what do you actually do? Here's the system. So what actually works? Let me be direct with you. What I'm about to show you is the exact system we use inside execution sprint. And I'm going to walk you through how it works. But because you need to understand why it forces execution when everything else keeps you stuck. Here's the structure. It's called the 6-week execution sprint. But today I'm going to focus on week 1 because week 1 is where 90% of people break. If you can't execute week 1, week 2 doesn't matter. Week 1 has one signal. Force you to touch the market within 24 hours. Not get ready to touch the market. Not build up to touching the market. Touch the market day 1. And here's how we force that. There are 6 SOPs in week 1. I'm going to walk you through them quickly. Not the details, just the flow. So you understand why this works when everything else fails. First thing you do, before anything else, you lock your hypothesis. Who are you targeting? Who pain do they have right now? What outcome can you deliver in 7 days? Not 7 weeks, 7 days. And what price will you charge? And what channel will you use? Email or DM? You answer those 5 questions. Then you write one sentence. I believe who will pay price for outcome because pain is urgent now. That's your locked hypothesis. The rule, you don't change it for 7 days. Even if you wake up on day 3 with a better idea, no. You locked it. You test it. This forces you to stop second guessing and start collecting signal. Then we move to SOP 2, Sprint Offer Builder. Now you have your hypothesis, but you don't have an offer yet. So we run you through a ChatGPT that builds it for you. Not some general template, a custom offer based on your who, pain, and outcome, and the ChatGPT gives you. And here's the rule. You don't edit it for an hour. Because if you start editing, you will edit forever. You will optimize, you will wordsmith, you will never send it. So we force you no edit for 1 hour. After 1 hour, you can make light changes, but you can't rewrite it. This is how we remove perfectionism on day 1. And then go to SOP 3, 1-page offer setup. Now you have your offer copy, but you need somewhere to send people. So you set up 3 things: 1-page offer, Calendly booking link, Stripe payment link. This takes 30 to 60 minutes. And at the end, you have one link you can send to anyone. That link shows what you are offering, how much it costs, how to book a call or pay now. No multiple page website, no funnel, no complexity. 1 page, 1 link, ready to send. This is how we get you market ready in 1 day, not 1 week, 1 day. Because the goal isn't perfection. The goal is contact. SOP number 4, warm first, permission based. Now you start sending. But here's what most systems fail. They tell you to go cold immediately. LinkedIn, email scrapping, cold DMs. We don't do that. We force you to go warm first. Week 1 rule, message people you already know first. Friends, ex-coworkers, past clients, people in your community. Why? Because warm is 100x easier than cold. And if you can't sell to someone who already knows you, you definitely can't sell to a stranger. So you build a list. Tier 1, inner circle, people you know well. Tier 2, warm adjacent. Tier 3, cold. Then you send 10 attempts per day, 7 days. 70 total attempts. No excuses, no I didn't have time. If you can't send 10 messages in 16 minutes, you're overthinking. This is the SOP that separates people who want to execute from people who want to stay comfortable. And SOP number 5, if people book calls, you need to know what to say. Most people improvise. They talk too much. They lose control. Nothing closes. So we give you a 30-minute call skeleton. Not a script, a skeleton. Frame, Set expectations for the call and situation and pain. Ask questions, let them talk. Desire outcome. What does success look like? A simple plan. Here's what I did do in 7 days. Decision. Ask for the decision. Yes or no. That's it. No 45-minute pitch. No explaining tools. No hoping they get it. You diagnose, you prescript, you ask for a decision. This is how we make closing mechanical instead of emotional. Time required 30 minutes to learn, 30 minutes per call. And day 7, this is the most important part. You run decision day. This is the only time you are allowed to change anything. You pulled your numbers, total attempts, replies, call booked, deals closed, and revenue. Then you identify your main leak, volume, targeting, messaging, CTA, follow-up leak, and offer leak, or call leak, deliver leak. You pick one leak only. Then you choose your verdict, scale, pivot, kill. Then you lock one fix for week 2. Not 5 fixes, only one. And you repeat the loop. This is how we remove the endless tweaking. You are only allowed to change on decision day. The other 6 days, you execute the plan. No midweek pivots. No, I had a better idea. No guessing. Execute, collect data, decide, repeat. And you repeat this for 6 weeks. Not 6 months, 6 weeks. By week 6, you either have clients or you have clear data on why not. Either way, you are not guessing anymore. That's the structure. Hypothesis lock, offer builder, one-page setup, outreach, call skeleton, decision day. If you want to run this yourself, the 7-day market signal starter kit is in description. It walks you through week 1 step by step. Now let me show you what this looked like for Daniel. Week 1, he locked. Who? Vancouver local restaurant owners. The pain, employee tip, and salary management is manual chaos. The outcome integrated dashboard that automates tip distribution and payroll tracking. Price $2,400. Day 1, build the offer. Set up Notion page and Calendly and Stripe. Day 2 to 7, sent it to warm list first. Restaurant he'd eaten at. Friends who own cafes. Local business groups on Facebook. 65 attempts. He missed some days. Life happens. 4 replies. 1 call happened, no close. Owner said, I need to think about it. Decision day, call leak. He had showing features, not diagnosing pain. And then 1 fix, use the call skeleton. Ask about their current process first, where it breaks, what it cost them in time and errors. And week 2, same who, same offer, same price. Only the core approach changed. He sent 70 attempts. Result, 6 replies. 2 calls booked. And first client to $2,400. 1 restaurant owners paid in full. Because Daniel stopped explaining the dashboard and started asking about their pain. How long does it take you to calculate tips right now? How many errors happened per month? What does that cost you in employee frustration? Then he showed the fix. Decision day is working, scale. 1 fix, keep everything the same, increase the volume to 15 attempts per day. I will explain this deeply later. Not because he got lucky, not because he had the perfect dashboard on day 1, because the system forced him to execute, collect data, and fix one thing at a time. First week, fix a call. Second week, close first client. And third week onward, scale what works. That's the difference. If you close this video and do nothing changes, that's not pressure, that's math. Here's what you can do right now. The 7-day market signal starter kit is in description. Hypothesis lock, GPT, 70 execution tracker, decision day scorecard. Everything I just showed you for week 1. And in the next video, I'm going to show you how to send a winning Loom video. 3 SOPs. The exact structure we use to get replies when cold emails fail. If you made it this far, you are not here for motivation. You are here for structure. Your skill is real. Your pipeline is imaginary. Stop learning AI, start executing. Thank you.